What's up, gals and pals? It's your boy Vino Valentino, and welcome back to 60-Second Cocktails. Ladies and gentlemen, it is season 2 of the YouTube PubCrawl, and we are starting big. That's right. We got my man all the way from the other side of the pond, Steve the Barman, the living legend. Steve, say hello to the audience.
Welcome to the future. The future, innit? It's like tea time over here.
This is going to be a hell of an interview, guys. So get ready. Buckle in, because it's Steve.
Anyway, it's going to be all serious for this one.
That would be, people are going to want their money back. So Steve, listen, first of all, thank you for being on, man. Honestly, it's a complete honor, man. You're one of the greats on this in this whole niche.
Oh,
and
shush.
no, you are, brother. You are, man. And like I said before we started speaking, one of the guys that really made me feel comfortable, like getting into this whole thing, just kind of being yourself and not being too snobby about cocktails. I like your approach, just have fun, man. Let's have a good drink. That's it, So that's awesome, man. I love that about you.
No, it's an ego tender free zone. This no
That's
ego
right.
tenders.
That's right. You got me saying ego tender, man. so listen. So normally I ask guys to have a drink ready and stuff like that, but your whole thing is you make your drinks as you go on your show, which is cool.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys have not watched Steve the Barman yet, he just makes things up. This guy does not make like traditional classic cocktails, and that's the fun. That's the fun of it all. So I do have my little kind of made up cocktail here. It's a little lemonade.
You know what? I feel like I'm going to let you all down because I've been filming today. I'm just actually sort of settling in with my nice. It's a crazy cognac.
Uh-huh.
But I've got it's like you're a wine guy, aren't you? Of course you are. You're a wine guy. Like sauternes. These are
yeah, definitely.
Sauternes.
Is that what that is? Nice. Well, you're listening. If you want to just settle with that, brother, let's stick with that. I'm cool with that.
But I might just rock out a bit of spiced rum or a bit of coconut rum halfway through. We'll see.
Whatever you want to do, my friend. All right. I got a little lemonade with gin and triple sec here. So cheers, my friend. Cheers.
Buongiorno. Bon douche and all that.
All right, Steve. Good. So listen, the first thing we do is we do our little game show here. The fast pour. You got 6 questions in 60 seconds. I know you could do it, brother. You could do it.
Of course we can.
All right. So let me get the timer set here, and we're going to rock and roll. All right, Steve, you ready?
I'm ready. Born ready.
And begin. Your favorite cocktail.
Oh, whatever. It changed every day. Mai Tai, but Mai Tai with OFTD. Next.
All right, your favorite spirit.
Oh, neat cognac.
All right, cool. Your favorite mixer.
Do you know what? Give me 2 seconds. I'm right here. This is awesome.
You've only got, all right, you got 25 seconds.
Juice. Next question.
Turtle juice. You like those? All right. Your favorite hangover food.
Scrambled eggs on toast.
Nice. Your favorite bar.
Oh, it's a bar up in Manchester called Albert Schloss. Amazing.
All right, cool. You got 20 seconds. You did good. Your favorite non-cocktail channel?
Oh, YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd probably go for a camper van. We'll talk about this, but a camper van channel.
Right, cool.
But I don't watch YouTube.
You nailed it, bro. You nailed it. Good.
Yeah.
54 seconds. See that? You made us sweat a little bit. Yeah. So I noticed you've been boosting that brand there. What's going on there?
Awesome. Bit of turtle juice. Look, we're saving turtles. It's great. So for those of you who didn't know, turtle juice is actually mango, coconut, and lime. That's what turtles taste like when you cook them.
Are you serious?
Well, apparently so.
I never had it before, so I'm not going to question it.
It's supposed to remind him of a mango daiquiri when they went to St. Lucia. So, yeah, it's good stuff.
Right, sounds good. So, Steve, man, listen, tell us a little bit about your background. Tell us where you're from. You're obviously English. What part of England? And also, tell us about, when you started bartending, man, because you've been in the game for a long time, man.
So, this is very close to being year 27, or is this year 27?
Smokes.
I don't know. 1995. Where are we? So yeah, it'll be year 27 in a month or so.
Wow.
I'm from, although I don't sound it, I'm actually from Cornwall, which is the best part of the UK. It's like the Cornish Riviera. It's like the tropics.
Oh, really?
But I live kind of like Cambridge, just south of Cambridge now.
Okay.
Right near the Essex border. So I call myself Cornish Chav.
All right. Well, that's a joke I'm not going to get because I'm not English.
Yeah.
So you started about 27 years ago. Wow. I mean, what was that first bartending job for you? Were you a bar back or did you get right into bartending?
No, so it was pubs. It was I started off in pubs, like a good old traditional English pub, but a food-led pub.
Yeah. Okay.
So my background's always been kind of food, hospitality pubs, that sort of stuff. But I love pubs, but I was one of those stereotypical 18-year-olds that just called, oh, what's this? What's that?
Yeah.
But I hated beer. Couldn't get into beer.
Okay.
Didn't like wine, spirits. I was just straight into spirits. What's this? What's that? So yeah, that's how I started off on the whole cocktail thing. But
listen, I'm still not a big beer guy. I mean, I'll drink it. You know what I mean? I can enjoy it, but it's never going to be my go-to. I'm never going to purchase it.
I think it's the American influence that's coming in over here now. But I'm kind of getting into those IPAs.
See, those are my least favorite.
IPAs that we would have over here.
Those are my least favorite. There's just something about them that kind of metallic-y taste that it just doesn't work for me. I like a blonde beer or like a Belgian beer.
I think they're called, because I'm not in that world at all, but I think they call them like craft lagers or something.
Well, craft beers is what it is here. It's called craft beer. So all those kind of micro breweries that make stuff. I mean, it's huge here. It's massive. But my wheelhouse is spirits and wine for sure. So what made you start bartending? What is it that was it just looking for a job or did you already have kind of an interest?
Just a job. I was actually cleaning. You know, I was an office cleaner. Were you
already in the restaurant or was this before you were?
No. Just part-time after sixth form because I was still in sixth form, whatever that is to you guys. So age 16, 17, 18-year-old.
Okay. So you're late teens.
Yeah, late teens, whatever that is, whatever that translates to you. But so I was just cleaning part-time after work and I wanted a bit more money. So I just literally turned 18 and just saw an advert in the paper, went to, it was a bit of a trek. It's like sort of not my local pub, but 20 minutes away maybe by car. Bearing in mind, there's probably 100 pubs between me and that one. And started the day after my 18th birthday, never looked back. I was an assistant manager within 6 months. Went through the whole management training, had my first pub, went onto the relief circuit and was just I looked after most of the pubs in Cambridge before my 19th birthday.
Holy smokes. So wait, so this was like, was it an instant thing for you? Like you instantly fell in love with it or were you just good at it and you weren't necessarily in love with it?
It's this weirdest thing because you get it. It's hospitality through and through. I'm not on this. I am almost like I'm on a stage in real life. I was quite kind of shy and reserved, and I still am to a certain extent. But actually, I found this little...
You're not fooling no one, Steve. You're not fooling anyone.
No one gets that, but it's kind of like when you're there, or even if someone walks through the front door of your pub, your restaurant, or whatever, you kind of, your hospitality, you're there to make sure that they have a good time, and that's when I'm in my element.
Yeah.
I love that.
There is a certain instinct.
Have a little seat.
Yeah, there is a certain instinct to that. When I'm in that zone, man, I'm just like... so into it and I just can't wait to talk to people and make them have a good time, help them have a good time. And, I get a pleasure out of that, and helping people have a good experience and stuff. It's always something that I
That's
enjoy.
what it's all about, isn't it? It's like we are kind of, I've gone through my career going from that kind of thing to almost silently being in the background, but making sure everyone is having a good time. So actually being in the foreground. Yeah. And the latter part of my career, doing you call them bachelorette parties, but hen party, being there, you get hired as entertainment more than you do cocktail skills.
Yeah, of course.
So I've gone full circle with that.
Listen, they don't want to be technical about it, right? They're looking to have a good time. They want to have they want you to be funny, and that's something obviously you could deliver to them.
They want to test their wrist actions out on Pornstar Martinis.
We got to talk about these Pornstar Martinis, right? Let's get into that now, okay? What is the deal with that? Because that is not a thing here, right? I would say the most popular cocktail in the U.S. is probably a margarita.
Really?
Yeah, I would say so.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, especially this time of year, I mean, you can't make enough margaritas. It's very, very huge with the women, and it's a great summer cocktail, man. It's huge.
Question: normal margaritas, or do you mean frozen margaritas?
Both. I think frozen right now. Right. But all year long, margaritas are huge. They're massive.
In the UK, if you said a margarita or a daiquiri to most people under the age of 30, when you serve them up something like in a Nick and Nora glass like that, they're like, what's that?
Yeah.
And you went, oh, you want a frozen daiquiri or a frozen margarita? And they're like, yeah, we want a slush puppy.
Well, daiquiris, though, do have that stigma still, like in this country. Like, people, they think of them as the frozen daiquiri. It comes out of a machine. It's strawberry daiquiri.
Yeah.
So
It's like if you give them a daiquiri that's green or kind of like lime in
they're
color.
like, what is this?
Oh, hang on, why is it not red?
Yeah, they'll think it's a margarita. First one, they're like, well, I don't know what a margarita. So, but the regular margarita is popular here. It's super popular. We've got like Margaritaville here, which is Jimmy Buffett. That's his brand, and so like the margarita identity. Mexico is our border neighbor, so like it's such a big part of our culture here now. It's massive. The daiquiri is too, but more in the I would say in the tropical areas like Florida and stuff like that. And then the old fashioned, I'm in Manhattan, those kind of classic whiskey cocktails are huge, especially like in a big like New York City, like where I am. I mean, you can't. Yeah. I mean, that's the go-to cocktail.
Pornstar Martinis.
So when is this? What's the history behind this thing? Like, what is it? Just because we don't make them here. I'm telling you, we don't make them here.
Like a good friend of us, so Doug Ankara kind of invented it. I can never remember it's 2003 or 5. I think it's 2003.
So it's a recent invention.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's recent as like the espresso martini. Whenever Dick invented that. True. I can't think when Dick invented
that. All these teenies are pretty recent.
But people kind of they still get into the head that when you say martini, it's kind of that I won't get it out, but the whole martini, martini, the brand in it, and they're like, oh. But yeah, it's just gone mental. It kind of, I remember in my mid to late 2000s, it started to pick up pace then. Bearing in mind, Doug had invented it. I'm sure it's 2003. And it just sort of picked up pace 2006, 2007, and then suddenly, but just kind of exploded 2015, 2016. Purely because of like brands like these guys actually route to market. Okay. Like the whole funky and passion fruit, you get it over there. But it purely that made it easy for people to make it. You didn't have to find passion fruits. You've got pure. All of a sudden, funkin went from just bar only because it says pro on it, funkin pro. It went from bar only to you could get it off Amazon next day delivery.
I know Georgie from Just Shake or Stir the other day put up a video of himself working, and he made this massive picture.
Georgie, if you're watching, if that was for 7, I can bang out 7 Pornstar Martinis quicker than you can blend them. That is just ridiculous. I cannot believe he blended 7. If
Georgie, you're listening, Georgie? I hope you're listening, my friend. That he called you out, brother. He called you out.
Blend 7. Look, seriously, 1, 2, 3. There you go. That's 9 Pornstar Martinis. So I could do that a damn sight quicker than he blended them.
Well, but in his defense, you are the king of the porn stars Martini. So I mean, there's king, yes. there's a difference there. He's not. He's just an apprentice. So Steve, tell us a little bit about your channel for people that haven't watched it yet. I mean, what would be you consider like your channel's identity? I kind of went into how you're just kind of having fun and making things on the go. What would you identify the page as?
I've killed my channel so many times over. It's like people look at it and there's like 18,000 subscribers, give or take. Real-time subscribers, I reckon I've probably got less than 2,000 because that's what I say. Because I started uploading properly in 2016.
Yeah.
I was started off in 2014, but 16 I started doing gin reviews because that was the big thing. So I was telling people about gin pre-Bobby No Nonsense Gin.
Yeah.
Good lad, good friend.
Yeah, great guy.
But I stopped doing that when he came on the scene because he was just funnier than me. So I stopped doing that, and then I started doing spiced rum reviews, a little bit of cocktails in between, and just nothing. The spiced rum, nothing just sat with me. You kind of. When you're doing the whole YouTube thing, you're thinking, oh, right, I've got to show people how to make a mojito because that's what they want. Or an old fashioned. I'm just like, I'm bored. It's not me. And then just kind of just fell sort of in. My Pornstar Martini video went a bit nuts.
Yeah, I know you told me that's a big one.
The question I would get, the way it's sort of my direction of my YouTube channel went, the question I would get is, firstly, how do you make the Pornstar Martini? Secondly, Steve, what else can you make with Passoa? Or what else can you make with vanilla vodka? And that's where this whole thing sort of came from. So my whole channel now, you will not, the content from like 18 months ago is still there. I've delisted a lot of it, or unlisted, whatever. But you won't find me teaching you how to make pina coladas or mojitos or old fashions or cosmopolitans or flipping clear ice or anything like that. I don't even get started on that.
Yeah,
you won't find that. Instead, you'll find Steve, I've got a bottle of passion fruit vodka. What cocktails can I make with it?
Yeah,
that is exactly what I do.
Dude, I gotta tell you, man, that's a great niche to micro niche. You know what I mean? That's what I call micro niching, right? Where we're already a niche. We're niched here. We're niched down, right? Micro niche is when you nail it down this way.
The issue I've got, and I'm assuming it'll be like a lot of YouTubers watching this, maybe not, but the issue I've got is that YouTube doesn't know and can't really tell my audience because it looks at me doing cocktails. It puts me in front of people that are interested in cocktails that will watch STB version 2, Leandro, Greg, all you guys, you know, it'll put me in front of them. But actually, that's not my audience.
No,
my audience is just your stereotypical people at home.
Yeah.
And it's so my struggle is that I pick up subs just like that, but they don't have the retain. They don't stick with me because they want proper cocktails, and I'm not about proper cocktails. I am like a classier tipsy bartender. I sort of am in a way.
No, I mean you're not stretching it though. That's not a stretch. I mean, it's true. I think there's two type of people that search for videos here, right? There's a guy that just wants to learn new cocktails, right? So they'll go into like a Leandro or a Steve. They want to learn a new cocktail every day. But then there is the guy that's like searching how to use Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
How to use anything, you know what I mean? Exactly. So I think that's definitely where I can see what that's a cool niche. But you're right, when they're putting you in front of the other guys, it doesn't really.
That's why my channel is like 80% search based.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why
it will be like passion fruit vodka or I don't know, Whitley Neal's Quince Gin. It will be that sort of thing as opposed to browse and suggested, which is how most people would build their channels because YouTube hasn't got a flipping clue who to put my videos in front of.
Yeah. So Steve, let me ask you something. When did you when did it occur to you, dude, I'm going to start a channel, man. Like this sounds awesome.
I've had my own business since 2012.
Yeah. And this is the hens or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. They started off doing wedding bars, like event bars, essentially. And it was a little bit to do with that. So I had a YouTube channel then because I was putting content up about that.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, YouTube is a search platform. So I was trying to build my business through because
more like a marketing channel type thing.
Oh, what? Sorry,
more like a marketing channel.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Sort of that route. But then it kind of just people wanted me to show them how to make cocktails. So I thought, well, actually, do you know what? This was pre-Zoom. We didn't really have Zoom in those days. So going back to 2015, 16. So I just started putting out, I've even got, it's unlisted, but I've even got a Pornstar Martini video that's terrible, really, really terrible from like 2014, 2015. So it just started off and that's how, but then it kind of quickly grew from my ideas thinking, actually, do you know what? It's search-based. You could get found doing all this, that, and that. But I just loved it because it was me on stage and I'm so comfortable with being, I'm a completely different person. 4 years ago, I was a completely different person that side of the bar to I am this side.
Yeah.
Now, I am me. I live my brand as opposed to it's not me putting on. It's not me being someone completely different. I am me now.
I could
different me's.
I mean, I can speak from my own experience. I can tell the audience out there, Steve is Steve, and we do like our little discords, and stuff like that. He's just Steve. He's not putting off you guys. He's actually this guy. He's just got a great energy to him, and he's says what's on his mind, and he's funny, and he's like I say, he's irreverent, and that's his appeal.
Without getting too cheesy, I think I've found my mission in life, my why, and all that sort of stuff.
That's not cheesy, man. It's important, brother. That's important, man.
With me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now, Steve, you're one of the few guys in our niche. I mean, outside of obviously the real big guys, that's a full-time YouTuber, right? And when did you become full-time? When did you like this is?
Sort of forced. Lockdown. I mean, I don't know when your first lockdown was, but lockdown 1.0 for us was last March.
Yeah, it was the first thing.
My events just grew to a standstill last month. Yeah. However, I had already been making a little bit of money from YouTube back then anyway, but it was just, but I was very, very lucky that my YouTube channel exploded literally at the second weekend of lockdown because everyone's at home searching for how the hell do you make a Pornstar Martini?
Yeah.
And that's how my channel exploded.
They couldn't go to the pub and get one, right? So, I mean, you saw it, though. You saw this explosion. I mean, I'm one of those guys that came on during, I lost my job in hospitality. I knew how to make cocktails. I'm like, all right, I have a personality. Let me go out there and put myself on YouTube. And you must have seen like I talked to David for Booze on the Rocks about this, and we talking about that explosion of cocktail channels, man. You got inundated, right?
I think I've had this chat with a few of you before, but you know, it's kind of when I first started 2018, there was probably like 6 or 7 of us. Maybe
like active channels.
Active, yeah, that I knew of. There's obviously, I can never remember his name, but the guy in India, the guy in South America.
Exactly. Yeah, sort of but those are not part of. Yeah, they're not our market.
Yeah. But essentially, it was kind of, and you know, it's really, I've known STB. I call him version 2 because he's younger than me. That, you know, but he's the bigger channel.
You started at the same time, basically, right? You kind of started around the same time, right?
He started a year before. Well, yeah, we started up like. It's funny because we both started events the same time. I've known him for years.
Yeah.
Years
Okay.
We both started our events business.
Because he had a cart or something, right? Like a bar cart or something like that. He did the
events. He did mobile bars.
Similar to what you're doing. Okay. What you did.
And then, before that, he was bartending exactly, and then he went into YouTube. But the big difference, and not to take anything away from Steve because he's awesome. I love the guy. But the big difference he's had his wife to help him. So it's been like a two-person kind of team, if you know.
It makes.
And I just dream of that.
You know, when you look around the niche, man, and not to take credit away from anyone, because we got some great talent out there, the guys that do it solo like ourselves, it's harder, man. It is so much harder, you know? And so when you have that partner, whether it's your wife or a team, you know, it definitely helps on so many levels, man.
It's not just hard in the fact that you've got to do everything. It's hard to... It's the ideas, and you just kind of want someone in your world to bounce the ideas off.
Nope. It's really tough, man. My wife, God bless her, I love her, but she's not. She can give 2 shits about cocktails. She loves the show, she supports the show, but she doesn't drink, and she doesn't know anything about alcohol. So it's really tough. And then
what's your wife's name?
Larissa.
Hello, Larissa.
So being on quarantine, we've had no opportunity to really interact with my friends and stuff who maybe can help, you know, give me some feedback and stuff. But it is tough. But you've done a great job so far, man. Rocking alone. It's you're almost at 20,000. I have to imagine you'll get there, you know, a few months, couple of months probably.
I'm not, you know, subs.
I know you're not. I know subs are not your priority, but they matter though. They are. There's a symbolic thing there, and there's also ultimately because look, if you're niching down right now, right? You're niching down to the point where you're like, you figured out what Steve is, what Steve the Barman channel is. I think now going forward, your subs are more likely to be people that are buying into this particular product that you're doing right now.
They are, but the problem. This is the whole problem. The issue I've got is that in that respect, my old videos get found. So videos from you. So I've still got subscribers coming in from my Spice Drum reviews.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So this whole subscriber number to me means absolutely nothing. I've got a small core community that I absolutely love. And my membership is growing month on month, you know, my thing. But subs mean 0. They mean squat to me. Yeah. Absolutely don't mean squat. And even when I get to 100,000 subs, I won't have 100,000 subs. I'll probably have maybe like 10,000, that'll watch my stuff, if that. Maybe 5,000 that are actively engaged in my current content because it's just how YouTube is.
Yeah. But the more I get what you're saying, but the more subs you have, the more like that percentage is higher, right? So like, you know, if you have 10% of 1,000 is more than 10% of 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then look at the bigger channels, 400, 5,000 sub channels, you know. When they get 25, what's more deflating? Having 20,000, nearly 20,000 subs and maybe getting 1,000 views on some of your stuff, or having 400,000 or 500,000 subscribers and only getting 25.
No, that's
you know,
true. That's true. I know. I get it. I'm a small channel, and when I get less than 100 views, I'm like, oh man, what did I do wrong? You know what I mean? It's an ego blow.
It's all about daily views, and this is what people outside of YouTube can't see. It's all about daily and weekly views. That's it. You've got to view your channel as a whole. You know, your video from a year ago is as important as a video that you rock out tomorrow.
No, it's true. I mean, and one of the things we learned, because, you know, Steve, we have this Discord we do with the YouTube bartender community, and Steve offers up so much advice about the stuff that he's learned over the time, and he's really hardcore into analytics, while most of us might be more into the filming or the product or the whatever the case might be. So it's great that we all kind of have a little bit of a different thing. But one thing that I think all of us really kind of learned is the importance of views, right? Like how important views are, you know, it really, that kind of engagement is so important versus, like you said, subs are nice, but they're not the end all.
Without the views, you've got no affiliate income, you've got no ad revenue, you've got no membership.
Yeah,
you know,
yep. That's true. It's true. Exactly. All those subs mean nothing if no one's actually watching the videos, you know? So Steve, so tell me about your drinking history. Like what was the first like cocktail that you fell in love with?
Dark. I'll get sued by Goslings. A dark and stormy with Captain Morgan's.
Oh yeah, we'll edit this out of that, all right?
But the thing is, though, when did Goslings come to light? Because we were serving Dark and Stormies were about years ago, and we never had access to Goslings.
The first 10 Dark and Stormies I had to be with Captain Morgan. I mean, it's just kind of the way it was. You know what I mean? But
Captain Morgan's was my sort of normal. It's the different to what you get over there. But you know, the dark, the black, whatever. Not the black. You get black over there, don't you? Captain Morgan. We just get dark.
Well, dark is the one that people use regularly, the dark one.
Yeah. So that was my kind of entry into, what's that? You know, into this whole back bar of spirits kind of thing. And I just loved it. I wasn't a massive Coke fan. I do like Coke, but ginger beer was my thing. So a bit of Angostura in that. And that's kind of what, hello, you know. So that's kind of where it sort of went from there. And I kind of, what can we make with rum? You know, just finding out sort of, I was always attracted to the kind of fun and fruity, the tiki kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of these tiki vessels and it was always those tropical juice kind of things that kind of took my eye. You know, it was that direction. Daiquiris were probably 10 years in for me. You know, it was all the fun punches and tropical tiki stuff that kind of came first.
But how about those kind of classic American cocktails, like the Martini and the Manhattan and the old fashioned? Was that ever something that was really not for you,
interested.
Huh? Really?
Not interested.
Now is that a cultural thing? Like, is that kind of like the way it is in England, or is it just your particular taste?
Unless you go to like proper hotel bars, and like a normal bar in the UK, a normal sort of, unless you go to London. But a normal bar in Cambridge, for instance, in the cities outside of London. Or take the big cities like Manchester, Birmingham, not even Birmingham to a certain extent, but probably Manchester, London, and Leeds. They've got the big cocktail culture where you would probably get gin martinis and old fashions and martinis in bars. Everywhere else, no. It's top end 5-star hotel bars, and that's it. And that was never my giggle, you know. I wasn't interested in wearing a shirt and a bow tie and a waistcoat and all that malarkey. No.
So then obviously the population also just gravitates towards these kind of fun, more tropical style cocktails.
Definitely, because we've got, I don't know what you've got over there, but we've got lots of chain bars. Like obviously TGI started from over there. Yeah. But we've got lots of bars similar in that vein to TGI's. Which are I call them disco cocktails. I've known them as disco cocktails for like 20 years or so.
Yeah, I never heard that phrase until you started using it.
Yeah, but that's just kind of what anything like your sex on the beaches, your woo-woos, your even mojitos to a certain extent.
We call them we say beach cocktails. That's usually what we call them, beach cocktails or resort cocktails, like stuff like that you would, get, normally in the summer or at a beach or something. Even though you drink them all year long, it's kind of just the phraseology we use here.
You know, that'll sell. You'll sell more bottles.
That's a disco cocktail. That is a disco spirit.
You'll sell more bottles of that in an average high street bar during the week than you will do like a decent rum.
Easy. The funny thing about Midori though is the Midori, especially in New York, you wouldn't ever see someone really order at a bar, but like a regular bar, but at a nightclub. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff was pouring out like a fountain, man. Those Midori sours, and the way we did them in nightclubs was not just traditional sour. There was no egg whites. It was just, club soda and like some vodka and stuff. It was a weird kind of.
So question, when you say nightclubs, what time do your nightclubs open?
Our nightclubs normally open about 10 and they close around 4. So it's like 10 to 4.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so it'd be about the same. But we wouldn't get that in a nightclub over here. We might do now, but that will be our disco bars, our TGI Fridays, our Revolutions, our Be at Ones, all those kind of bars that the chains that we have.
Yeah, so the chains here
your
are
6 o'clock bars, your 7 o'clock bars.
Yeah, they're like a bar and grill is what you would call that here.
Yeah.
So a bar and grill would be like a kind of those chain restaurants or a place where you would just go to eat and have a drink. Like it has a big bar and you just get burgers or whatever. Those are usually called bars and bar and grill here. So it's not a disco because disco to us is nightclub. Yeah. So there you go.
See, we're all arse about face over here.
Somebody told me I got to get a translator. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. So, Steve, tell me one of your favorite drinking stories, man. Because if you've been in this business for 27 years, you've got to have a story that listen, anyone, you don't have to tell me your best one. It could be a drunk story. It could be like a sentimental story, a good story that you feel like telling.
I'll tell you what, I will tell you some. I mean, there's loads, but just purely in the last sort of 5-6 years of business doing hen parties, there's a lot. There's a lot of hen party bachelorette stories, a lot.
Oh man, I can't even imagine.
But one of the funniest stories that ever sticks with me, it was back in the time, so it's like mid 2000s. And I was in Cambridge. I was running one of the student bars in Cambridge. So Cambridge University, as in the Cambridge. The Cambridge is made up of like 32 different colleges, but 26 of them got their own little bars. So they're kind of small bars, if you like.
So what's the drinking age? What's the drinking age in England? 18.
Ooh. Yeah, nice. So 18. Anyway, there's a lot of stories from there, but one particular, I can't. It must be sort of late 2000s for this one. Because obviously I was there for about 5 years at the time. So, you see different freshers coming. But anyway, we had this one cocky student and he was like, everyone in the whole university knew him. It was that guy, the cocky kind of that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we used to do a few random things just to kind of take him down a peg or two. But one night he came in and the girl, he was one of those that the girls didn't really warm to. They liked him, they sort of humor in him, but didn't really warm to him, if you know.
Yeah.
So one night we decided to take him down, like properly take him down, right? And he came in to warn us early on, and this was how it started. He came in early evening, sort of say, "I'm going to get absolutely smashed tonight. Here's money, putting money behind him, absolutely smashed." So that was when we kind of thought, right, we're going to have you tonight. No word of a lie. Cut a long story short, no word of a lie. He walks out of the bar he got carried out of the bar 7 hours later, right? It was a late night. He got carried out of the bar. He could not physically stand. Yeah. All he'd had is one double gin and tonic.
What?
And I will never forget that because it's one of these stories. It's the whole placebo effect. It's one of those stories that
you gotta be kidding me. Are you serious?
I'm absolutely genuine. I would not believe it unless I'd seen it in real life. And so generally, this is what happened. He came in and he was drinking gin and tonics for the first part, and then he went on to something else. But so we lined him up with his first double gin and tonic, and he had that. So he was sober and he had that whole gin. The next 5 or 6 drinks, we were literally dummying the gin and literally just giving. We didn't charge him, obviously, just literally giving him tonic, and he was smashed.
What? He wasn't pretending or nothing, huh? He was legit.
Because
that's insane. That's insane.
He genuinely thought he'd had about 20 or 30 drinks that night.
It's amazing. That's like a science.
That's still to this day one of my favorite stories because people say, "Oh, you think when you say, oh, you get drunk on emotion, you get high, you you really can."
Wow, that's insane, man. That's like a science project almost right there. Holy cow!
But the same guy, we also what's it called? What's like the funny cheapo sort of cherry Lambrini? Do you know Lambrini?
No.
Never heard of Lambrini.
I don't know if we have it here.
If you got like a prosecco, like a 5%, or what do you call it? Like a 10 proof. 5% ABV sort of sparkling wine Perrier kind of brand.
But we have like wine coolers here. Do you have wine coolers?
Yes, that'll be similar. That'll be similar. Right. So we did this product launch. This is the same guy actually. This is about a few months later. We did this product launch of this brand new flavor, this brand new thing, and it wasn't Lambrini, but it was someone like the UK people will know exactly what I mean when I say Lambrini.
All right.
And basically we told him that this stuff was like 50 quid a bottle, and it weren't. It was like 5 quid. And he just ended up, basically he gave us, he bought 4 bottles that night, 200 quid, what effectively was 20 quid's worth of booze. And it was just brilliant.
This guy, do you know anything about him now? I mean, he must be, that guy's got to be.
I've seen away of him for years.
I don't think that guy got very far in life. Yeah, so Steve, I mean, I think you kind of touched on it already in terms of like the kind of drinks you like to make or drink or whatever like that. So what would you consider your wheelhouse? Like what's your wheelhouse in terms of cocktail making? Like this is what I do best cocktails I make. Rum stuff, tiki stuff.
That's really hard to generalize. I would kind of say I would put myself firmly in the disco. I would call myself the king of disco cocktails.
Okay.
I do like that. Rum. See, cognac, I love drinking neat, but rum
Yes.
is definitely my jam when I'm kind of
Okay.
playing about with cocktails. I do love rum.
Okay.
But then I can't see. This is the funny thing. My channel, I try and dumb down quite a lot. But
Yeah.
I don't know whether you saw the live I did the other night.
No.
But for instance, I love, that's my bitters.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love playing about with different. It's like 30.
You have an awesome collection of that stuff.
And I love playing about with like cocktail bitters and stuff like that. But I wouldn't really use them on some of my videos because I know like who the hell has got like toasted almond bitters or molasses bitters or something like that or flipping hibiscus bitters.
Yeah.
But I love kind of doing that sort of stuff. So I've got lots of crazy tropical juices, and we're very lucky here. We get a lot of purees and
you have a lot of that kind of stuff there. So, I mean, your wall says it. Just your wall alone shows all the kind of flavor.
You can't see the other shelf, but I work. So obviously, my other channel, we drink stuff. We work very closely with Monin. So I've got a whole that again there. So all this there, 3 shelves, tiers of all the Monin syrups, which are kind of effectively pure. But today for the drink stuff channel, I've been rocking out cotton candy. So is that what you know it as, cotton candy? Or
cotton candy. Yes, cotton candy. Yeah,
we don't call it that. What's it called? Candy floss. That's what we call it.
Candy floss.
And then kiwi. So I've been doing that sort of stuff. So it's all fun.
So tell us a little bit actually about the drink stuff channel. Like, what do you do there? What is that? What exactly?
So drink stuff is probably I don't know. They're basically one of the go-to companies in the UK to get all your cocktail shakers and your all this sort of stuff.
Okay. So a cocktail-focused store.
Yeah, glasses and that without selling alcohol. They don't sell alcohol.
Okay.
And they're only down the road from me. And I've been a customer of theirs for 20 years, best part of 20 years, probably more. I know the guys. So, yeah, they just kind of... I mean, it's been a big affiliate for mine. That's how I've made most of my money from my YouTube, becoming full-time, was affiliate sales from them. Because obviously no one really understands this, but on YouTube, you can't promote booze. You can't make direct affiliate from booze. So you have to do something other than booze. So drink stuff was the obvious one for me. That little beauty right there, for any YouTubers watching, drinks YouTubers, that little beauty there has made me a lot of money.
Really?
Just a simple jigger.
Interesting.
Because it's one of the very few that's lined. It's like the mezcal. It's like 5, 10, 15, 20 mil lines. And then 10, 20,
you mean
30,
inside, right?
Yeah. But it's just like, when you're doing YouTube, you pick one thing that you just passionately talk about all the time. But yeah, so that kind of just, I send a lot of traffic their way from my channel anyway. But we've just started doing from October.
So what kind of content do you do on the channel though? What is it? You just plugging products?
It's a mixture because they're a sales website. I do a lot of products. Like today, I haven't got it here, but today equipment as well as beverage.
But
then obviously they get a lot of pubs and they sell to a lot of pubs and bars.
Okay.
So the content, like obviously they sell this stuff as well because it's non-alcoholic and the purees.
Yeah.
So a lot of it will be inspiration, like 3 cocktails that you can make with candy floss syrup or. So yeah, it's a kind of a broad spectrum audience, but it kind of works and it's fun because I can't do that stuff on my channel because it won't get views. Whereas they've got a direct access to the pubs and bars that are kind of, what's this? Yeah, we need to work on our cocktail menu. So
that's actually cool. I gotta tell you, that's like that. The whole concept of a store that just kind of has all this cocktail related stuff. They have it here, but it's not as common as you would think. It's really not. It's. I feel like it's a lost opportunity here in New York.
We have this banter all the time. All you guys over there. We to think that we can literally order that off Amazon and it'll be here next day.
We can't.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't. You guys can.
But then the UK is only tiny anyway. But we've got 3 or 4 websites that are just smash it, literally next day delivery on.
No, I mean it's true. I mean, the thing is, Amazon makes it easier to do any of that stuff, but at the same time, it's like, there's a couple places here in the city that do it, and I love walking into them. It's just like a fun experience, just kind of seeing all this stuff, and all these different.
We haven't got that. We've got probably one chain in the UK.
Okay.
Amethyst. But we
don't have any chains. We have no chains. We just have a couple of stores. We
haven't really got booze. We've got plenty of wine shops, wine or whatever you want to call them, wine stores. But alcohol, spirits, no.
Yeah, I mean, we have one chain here called Total Wine, which is basically like a warehouse for cocktails, spirits, wine, everything, beer, and their prices are unbelievable. But the problem is because they're so big, they can undersell anyone. Yeah. And so a lot of towns won't allow them in. So you might find one per state. That's how hard it is for them to actually get a. We were supposed to have one here in my town, and they wouldn't let it happen.
Trevor Rose or Rob or anyone, I mean, Trevor's the big one. When he sends us photos of him going into his local wine shop, his local, whatever it's called, to get his spirits, and I'm just like he'll go out and he'll buy that from a shop. We've got no chance in the UK. There is not a chance you go any shop in the UK and get that. It's all online. Yeah.
Is that because availability? Is that why?
You'd get Havana and you'd get Bacardi if you went into a shop. But because our superstores, so Tesco, like what is it, Walmart to you guys, but like our Tesco's and our Sainsbury's, our superstores, our food shops, sell quite a decent selection of alcohol.
Yeah.
But not to that extent, not proper stuff.
See, in New York.
So it's like swings and roundabouts. We've got access to a hell of a lot of stuff. But we have to mail order it. We can't just go into a shop and go, oh, yeah, I fancy that.
See, yeah, that's the beauty of it in New York, because like we can walk into wine shops or liquor store and there's so much stuff. And a lot of places, will focus on the major brands, but you'll find places that, like will sell only, rum. You'll find a shop that sells only rum, and you'll find any rum you want there. Or you'll find a place that sells only vodka. So those are cool too, because you can go there and find shit that you would never find absolutely anywhere. But you have also the mega shops which sell absolutely everything in the world.
I'd love that over here, but I genuinely can't think of one, because even our chain, Amicus, and there's a few other independents around the country.
Yeah.
But even our chain, is probably half to 2/3 wine.
Wow.
In store. And, our stores, well, I've got nothing to compare it to over there in square footage, but their stores they're not big.
Yeah, but like you said, England is not big. We're a massive country. We're huge. You know what I mean?
But then, they've got to compete with Amazon and the online, it's that whole trend thing. So no store would ever kind of survive in the UK, because they've got to compete with online. It's just how it is.
Yeah. See, that's the thing about New York. I mean, in the US, you can't sell alcohol online. Well, I think it might be state by state, but like in New York, you can't buy anything else. You can't buy alcohol online, and you also can't buy alcohol outside of a liquor shop. So they don't sell alcohol in supermarkets. It's actually only in a liquor shop.
Yeah. So we could go and get our Sunday roast and then get a pizza for tea and pick up a bottle of rum at the same time.
You might have places that have two. So basically, if you want to do that here, let's just say you have Steve's market. You can sell wine and beer and liquor, but you have to have a separate entrance. Basically, it has to have its own address for that stuff. Yeah, it's a weird kind of workaround, but people do it.
So you'd have to pay twice.
Yes.
You have to buy Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
See, I love all this. I love this.
So Steve, so all right, so we know what your wheelhouse is, what your strengths are. What's something that's like a blind spot for you, something that you're not great at, or you maybe just want to know more about, it's just not something you're strong.
The big and I do chat to them quite a bit, actually. Well, not quite a bit, but I chat to them here and there. The one, I wouldn't say it's a fault or something I'm lacking, because I'm at that age now where I don't care. If it's not something, if it's not something I do, I don't care about it. I'm really not interested in clear ice cubes or sous vide stuff or
clarification.
Or that. I couldn't give a monkeys about that.
And I get it. Yeah, I respect it, but that's not my thing.
But I tell you what, I am kind of intrigued by Kevin Costner and his crew. I am kind of, when they come out with weird and wonderful stuff, I'm like, I'd never do it. I never think to myself, that's cool, I'm going to go and do it. Yeah. But I'm intrigued to see where the next generation of bartenders are going.
Kevin is.
I have been in that world. It's not that I was never in that world. I've been in that world. It just doesn't interest me. It's like all the when Michelin star chefs get older, they just can't be asked with the Michelin stars anymore. It's like, home cooking. That's where it's at. Yeah,
but Kevin to me is beyond bartending or mixology. Like what he's doing is really just like almost science.
Do you not think it's interesting to think?
Absolutely do.
In 5 or 10 years time, for us now, it's the hotel bars, the 5-star hotel bars that are kind of rocking out the clear ice cubes and stuff. But you're not kind of inquisitive, like in 5 years time, if there's more people like Kevin and his gang, right? And Anders to a certain extent as well. But if
have you been watching the Wee Pearl?
No, I haven't.
The Wee Pearl is fantastic. She's a New York gal, and she's kind of like Kevin. I mean, she a beautiful cinematography, and just really like unique cocktail making. She makes everything from scratch like Kevin. They're very similar in their style of cocktail making.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, you should check her out. She's fascinating.
I'm more interested just to see the direction of where the top end hotel bars will go.
Yeah, yeah.
Not, that's never going to take off in a chain bar or the average person.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of intrigued, and I love watching. And they've stopped doing it now. But I used to watch, like the what is it, Bacardi World Series and all that. And what was the Diageo one called? They used to rock them out on YouTube quite a lot, but they've stopped doing it. But it was whatever, the World Bartender Awards anyway. I used to love watching that stuff because there was like cool sort of stuff going on. But yeah, it's not, when it comes to, like, I know how to do Manhattans and I know how to do Martinis and I know all that sort of stuff. Am I interested in it? No.
Yeah,
not really.
But the thing that's like the thing that like what Kevin's doing, I don't think it's, he'd have to speak on this, but I'm not sure how much that stuff is going, like he's doing that at his bar. You know what I mean? I don't know that that's the stuff that to me is the stuff you do for yourself to have a really unique cocktail experience at home. I mean, the stuff, I can't imagine him being able to pump that kind of good magic out every single time at a bar.
But then Ryan, like people like Ryan Chet Wardner. Do you know Chet?
No, I don't know who he is.
Have you not heard him? He won a World Bartender of the Year.
Okay.
He owns, like, I forget what, I'm sure he's got a bar your way. But he owns heard of Dandelion?
No.
Is
that the guy? Does he have a YouTube channel?
Chet, no.
No, okay.
Right, no.
All right.
Not that I know of, anyway.
Okay.
But no, he's basically a superstar. He's like, think Steve Schneider, but next level.
Okay, all right. Okay. I'll look into it. It sounds familiar,
and I love Steve and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so Ryan has kind of, and his team, they've got like 4 or 5 bars now. I think I've lost track of where they're at. But he's kind of taken that whole proper mixology, like the science, that sort of stuff, and actually implemented it into bar scenarios.
Wow.
And it's like really bizarre, but it did kind of work for them.
Listen,
you're talking. Go on.
In New York, you have the craft bars, right? Craft bars are basically places where they do make all of these kind of very unique cocktails using very unique ingredients and stuff like that. I guess it's not out of this world to think that like the stuff Kevin does or that WePro does can be replicated for commercial purposes. I just got to imagine it's very difficult. One of the things that Kevin is really interesting actually about Kevin too is that he's trying to change the drinking culture back in Slovenia. You know what I mean? Like he's like over there, it's basically like a beer drinking culture, and he's really up against a wall. But he to think that like this guy, when you watch what he does, to think that that's not the culture there, and he's still doing this.
Yeah,
that's mind blowing. Where the hell did he learn to be this guy?
That's why I get so intrigued about it, because in my head, if you want to change the culture, you start off with the simple things. You start off with if people are drinking, like for what I do, it's so easy to get blokes from drinking beer to drinking Pornstar Martini.
Yeah, exactly.
That is easy. And then from there, you can kind of get them onto whiskey and you can get them into old fashions and that sort of stuff. And then you take it that way. But Kevin's kind of gone from the whole beer to like totally miles in that direction, miles, like complete polar opposite. And I just find it fascinating because But
I think that's what keeps us glued to watching him, right? We're like, what the hell is this guy going to come up with next?
And that's the cool thing with YouTube, because, and that's not, I look at when I was sort of 2016, 17, 18, like uploading videos, I didn't have my identity and I didn't have the confidence just to sort of do what I do, which is just rock out random stuff, because everyone else on YouTube at the time is doing proper cocktails.
I think it's safe to say, outside of the few guys like Kevin and the WePro, like I said, who are doing very like unique stuff, most people are just recreating cocktails.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm one of those guys. I find a good recipe out there, and I do it. Steve the Bartender does that. All of them do it, really.
You think you kind of have to do that to sort of fit in. Whereas, as I grew on YouTube, not grew physically in numbers, but grew in confidence, grew in skills, grew in just editing skills alone. You kind of get more and more comfortable to think, what, actually, I'm going to pop in this video this week because this is what I really want to do.
Yeah.
And you gauge people's reactions from there. And and that's the cool thing. That's the whole point of getting at. Now we've got such diversity with, and what's it? I've forgotten his name now. Complete mental block. Not Gustavo. Peruvian, Chilean channel. Latino. What's his name?
He's not Gustavo?
Who does the Pisco?
Louis.
Yeah, Louis. You know, I get so, because I'm really interested in cachaça and learning. You know, I've got really busy the last few weeks, but I did chat to him a lot. I'm so fascinated.
Yeah, he's another guy.
He's
really
doing something completely different as well. He's almost become the king.
Of the South American spirits. Yeah, it's interesting stuff. Yeah, because I mean, he's one of those guys that's micro niched, right? Like I'm doing something very, very specific. No one else is going to do this. And it's interesting stuff, right? I don't have the spirits he put, like he's put up Mexican spirits I never heard of and stuff. It's like, oh, it's actually cool, man. You know, but that's not easy to do. That's not easy. I think for a lot of us, it's like we don't know exactly how to do that. Like, what is that like target that we're trying to hit? You know, you like you said before, it took you a long time to figure out this is what I'm going to do, and I'm comfortable doing it. And it's safe to say that I think a lot of us are there. But then there's guys I think don't necessarily like. Look, when you look at Steve the Bartender and Leandro, right? They're doing basically the broad spectrum of cocktail making, right? Let's just make something that's famous or talk about a specific like category and let's make a few cocktails there. And it's working because I think that works on a much more general level. You know what I mean? You're going to get more people subscribing and following that because it's just, you know, it's basic cocktail making. You know, but you're going
to get bartenders subscribing to them that want to learn how
exactly. You know, so I mean, I think that's like you said before. That's the beauty of the niche being so diverse, right? There's a little bit for everyone. I think everyone can be successful. It's about putting in the work, man. Like, you know, when you see like, you know, I see what you do. You pump out like there's times when you're doing 5 videos a week. Listen,
that'll change very soon.
It will, but listen. But ultimately, like it's about putting in that work, man. You gotta be consistent. You gotta put in that work. And you know, I think having an appealing personality is obviously important, but you gotta put in that work, man.
It's that funny thing because TubeBuddy, you know, have you got TubeBuddy or vidIQ?
vidIQ.
vidIQ. Yeah. So TubeBuddy will kind of, I've got both. I pay for the top whack vidIQ, but I've got TubeBuddy as well. Yeah. But TubeBuddy, you know, if you've got it installed, just the standard plugin, it'll kind of say, oh, you've got 300 videos or 200 videos. What it can't see is, and I've noticed this, it can't see your back office data. So if you delist a load of videos, it will think you've just lost a load of views, whereas vidIQ doesn't work that. Now it's really funny because my actual amount of videos in my YouTube is 700, and I think it's 760 videos, right? That I've uploaded, and they're still on my YouTube. A lot of them will be delisted, a lot of them will be membership, a lot of them are there for online courses. So I've got all that going on as well, online courses. But TubeBuddy thinks I've only got 220 videos. But then when you kind of look at my back catalog, you know, 700 and some of videos.
That's insane.
That's a lot. You know? That's
insane. I mean, I uploaded my 100 recently, and I was like, holy shit, 100. Wow, that's insane, man.
And TubeBuddy's like getting ready to give me
an award,
2 million views on my channel. It's like,
wow, that's awesome.
Next
man.
milestone is you know, actually my channel has got close to 4 million, but only it's just coming up to 2.5 of them are public views now. And that's all you get recognized for is public views when it comes to those sort of things.
Yeah, but only, you mean vidIQ and only recognize that, but YouTube still recognizes your views,
YouTube,
right?
Yeah, YouTube, you get all that, but you don't get the cool little things that you can share from YouTube, do you? You know, TubeBuddy and vidIQ sends you the little.
What's the first? Things. Yeah, what's the first like YouTube plaque or whatever it is? What's the first one?
100,000.
That's the first one, 100,000.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, because it's something stupid. Like I saw this a few weeks back. Only 7% of channels get more than 10. So I think it's 7% of YouTube channels get more than 10,000 subscribers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's fascinating, man.
And then it goes up to like 3% that ever hit 100K.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, I mean, just you know, between you, me, and the whole audience that's watching here, I knew YouTube would be a slow burn. And I knew being in the cocktail niche would make it even slower because it's, you know, it's not going to be shown to certain people and stuff like that. But it's a slug, man. It is like,
unless you niche from day one and you stay in your lane from day one, and I mean really, really stay in your lane. Then it is a slow burn. If you stay in your lane though, right? And you can't say whether you do gin cocktails or something with the high interest. Like if you go into Google Trends and it's got high interest, if you stay directly in that lane, then you'll grow very quickly. It's why Anders, it's why Kevin that are just growing. They are phenomenal, and the videos and that are phenomenal, but they are staying in their lane and they are growing a damn sight quicker than what I ever will do. And, everyone else, because for us, and this is what people don't even comprehend, and even STB and Leandro and all that, we all do it. If people subscribe to me for my Pornstar Martini videos, and then I rock out rum, they're not interested in my rum cocktails. They're interested. They subscribe because of Pornstar Martinis. That's why it comes back to the whole subscriber thing. No one's really, subscribers don't matter unless you're purely doing vodka videos. Your subscriber doesn't matter. If you rock out a Malibu video this week and a Campari video, subscriber numbers don't matter, because someone that watches your Malibu video sure as shit ain't going to be interested in your Campari video. And it's just how the sub numbers go.
So Steve, let me ask you something. What do you do outside of cocktails, man? Like what's Steve doing? He's not making drinks, brother. What's a hobby of yours? I mean, I know you do your.
No, I've got into walking. I do love.
I know you do 3Ks.
Yeah,
5Ks, right?
5Ks. They're close to sort of 5-ish miles. Okay. I call them daily 5K, but they're like 7.33K or whatever.
Okay, cool.
Like that. But yeah, I do love a walk, and I've walked ages and ages. I'm one of these. I love exercise. I used to love playing football and hockey and all that, field hockey, not ice hockey. I used to love all that, but as I got older, I couldn't do.
It's harder, man. It's harder, brother.
And I can't go to the gym. I just have
right now. You can't, right? Still,
and even when I do go to the gym, I never lost weight or anything. It would just never happen. Whereas walking is my thing.
Okay.
Podcasts in, headphones in, podcasts on, walk for hours and hours. And
I know you're big into podcasts, right?
Yeah, I love my pod. That's why I said the whole YouTube thing. I don't watch YouTube. It's such a struggle for me to watch other people's videos because I just can't sit and focus.
Yeah.
I'm almost ADHD and need like 2-3 streams of input at the same time. Ridiculous.
That's hysterical, man. So Steve, what's the future for the channel, man? Like, what's your goals? What do you see for the future?
Steve the Barman's second channel is launching June the 1st, exclusive.
Tell us a little more. You can't just throw that out there, brother.
my membership community already know this, so it's not kind of a worldwide exclusive. But this is what should have happened ages ago. Basically, I'm taking my spiced rums, because I love spiced rums. I'm taking them off my channel because, again, that's a different audience, and again, YouTube's got no freaking clue of who my audience is. So I'm starting a dedicated spiced rum channel, which I should have done in the start.
Really? Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is what I mean about staying in your lane. That channel, I reckon, will grow pretty quickly if there's an interest in spiced rum, because it's just purely going to be spiced rum. And nothing else. There's not going to be any vodka or anything. The subscribers going. So that's launching June the 1st.
And what do you have a name for that yet? You haven't decided what you're going to call it? It's
just me, Steve the Barman, but spiced and flavored rums.
Oh, interesting.
I'm almost contemplating, because I've got a sneaky suspicion that whiskey's coming as well, like flavored whiskey, because a lot of the UK distilleries have been laying down whiskey since 2018-19, which means 3 or 4 years of aging, which means 2022, 2023. We're going to start to see a lot of whiskey come forward in the UK.
Okay.
So I'm almost tempted to start a whiskey channel as well. Okay. Because the only way you can really grow on YouTube is just be focused on one thing. So yeah, that's doing, that'll go there. I've got the drink stuff. I'm bringing my channel back down to 2 videos a week. Okay. Just 5 cocktails. It'll be 5 cocktails with whatever. Yeah. Which is how it was a year and a half ago. Okay. But then my live show is still going. It's Sunday night live show. It's what I love doing. But the big dream for that is I want to have a proper film studio, people in, probably a 2-hour proper show.
Oh, that's awesome. Like have guests and whatnot.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Cool. That's where I want to kind of head to that. It probably won't. It might be tail end of 2022. Yeah. But we shall see. But yeah.
It's a matter of waiting for stuff to open up, first of all, and then getting, I guess,
we're there, sort of. We're just about there now.
Okay. So what do you do with all those cocktails, by the way, man? You're always making 4 or 5 at a time. There's no way you're drinking them all.
I've got a couple in the fridge for later. Okay. Mummy Barman's got one.
Oh, okay. That's good. There you go.
Yeah, I'll drink. I'll probably drink half of most of them.
Okay.
And then because it's just it is quite. They're not a lot. I'm not got a massively sweet tooth, but it's quite a bit of.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, when I batch film, I normally drink one, and then I'll put the other ones in a mason jar. Yeah, if it's the kind of drink I could drink later. Sometimes it's not something you want to drink later on, but
that's the thing I'd love to do. I'd love to even have film days where I've got people just hanging around.
That's something I really want to do too. I want to have my buddies over and film while they're here, and kind of just give the cocktails away, and kind of get like an organic response and stuff like that.
Because it's a whole different level of content then as well. It's kind of. It's almost behind the scenes because people are interested in that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah,
it's almost behind like separate camera angles, and
I think like listen, I'm a very small channel, but the response to this pub crawl thing has been really good because people love to know more about the bartenders, right? Us. They watch us. They're intrigued by us.
This is exactly the content that I can watch on YouTube because I don't have to watch it. I can have it in my ears. And I've listened to every single second of these videos from you, because I've got a YouTube Premium, so I just lock my phone, but I listen to them.
Yeah, I mean, I've converted them to podcasts. Done with
5-minute content. I hate 5-minute content. Give me like 40 minutes, an hour, and I'm all. No,
I agree, especially if it's something that's intriguing or just an interesting. Conversations always work. Conversations are great.
Yeah, good old chinwag.
Yeah, even when you're doing your Sunday lives, it's still a conversation because you're interacting with the people. Yeah. It's not like you're just sitting there talking.
My Sunday night live's not for me. It's for the viewers.
They love it. They love it, man.
Very small community that I'm building up. It's purely for them.
But you get a good amount of people on those things, man.
Yeah, I get. Some weeks I'll get sort of 70 to the best. I'm absolutely dreading breaking 100 because when I get sort of 60 on. I cannot keep up with the comments.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is about the comments and the interaction. So I'm dreading. I'm literally dreading the whole 100. And
I think people get it. And also that's going back to what you were saying before about having like a partner helping you out. Like having someone there that can read the comments for you and be like, Steve, someone said something. It just really like Alchemics, Riley and Carl. Riley's usually reading the comments. And Carl can kind of respond at that point, so it really makes it easier to interact when you have that. When it's just you trying to talk, I see you. You're trying to make the cocktail. Look at the comments.
I've even got a banner now in the top of the screen that says, "Look, if you've got a specific
put
question,
in bold
make sure you type question in capital letters so it stands out."
Yeah, but sometimes you don't want to just answer the questions, right? Sometimes you want to just see the banter, right? Because sometimes the banter is hysterical.
Yeah,
it's like when we do when me, Rob, and David do the cocktail challenge follow-ups, and we do those little live streams, and the guys are all there talking, and you want to kind of interact with them, but then you're still trying to make the cocktails and stuff. And I can only imagine having 60, 70 guys in at the same time.
I mean, it's going to be fun. But there's things you can do. You can make, I've already got my guys that I know will be moderators and stuff like that. But the thing I've got so used to doing Zooms where you've got the interaction, and I've had, I've done some big Zooms like cocktail masterclass over the last year with like 600 people on and stuff like that, and I very rarely get them to mute microphones, so it can get a bit messy. But I love that feedback, whereas you don't get that on YouTube. You don't get the voice banter coming back. It's comments, and you're all the time sort of like scrolling through, and then you get the banter going. All right, we'll get the elevator music out in a second. But it's just like,
but you want to read those things. It sucks, man. So Steve, listen, man. We're gonna wrap this up. Where can everybody find you, man? Tell us all the different YouTubies and social medias and everything else.
Steve, just literally search Steve the Barman. If you want the easiest way to go, stevethebarman.com/hello. Right, that's the easiest way because you'll find everying then. All my channels, all my Instagram.
Webpage? That's your website?
Yeah, so Steve the Barman's my website, but /hello.
Okay.
And that'll just take you to the splash page where it's kind of like all channels, latest videos, download my free cocktail book. It's a new cocktail book coming in August, proper.
Oh, wait, dude, hold on a second, man. I've heard about this, but we forgot about this. Tell people more about that.
One of my lovely members, my YouTube members, she basically took a load of my recipes and got them printed up and made her own cocktail book out of it. And I was like,
how cool is that, man?
Awesome.
That's fascinating.
And she was like, you need to do it. And I was like, yeah, I haven't got the time. She's like, no, you need to do it. So she's my little kind of rock star, my little mentor.
Cool.
So yeah, it's going to be proper public. I'm not doing it through Amazon, actually. I'm doing it through Lulu, L-U-L-U. But yeah, it'll be proper. I wanted to go hardback, but that's freaking expensive.
Yeah, it's so expensive.
That ain't gonna. So it'll be softback.
I mean, you could do it once you see the response to the payback. I mean, if the payback response is good, then maybe like, hey, maybe I'll make a small, you know.
And so whatever this is in US, but you're talking sort of like 28, 30 pounds UK. Yeah, what's that? 42.
That's before. That's just the cost.
Yeah, no, that'll be selling price. You know, I would make like $2 on that or £2.
Yeah.
So you know, it's like. No one's going to buy Steve the Barman cocktail book for $42. That's just stupid, you know. So
you'd be surprised. You know. I mean,
but the plan is now, because it's such the way I work. The plan is just to have a cocktail book every year, and it'll be in volumes. So it'll be like the spine, like volume 1, volume 2, volume 3.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's a
great idea. So that's coming. Well, it'll literally be here. My birthday's right at the start of August, and the plan is to have the first copy in my hand.
Cool. So will people in the States be able to buy it?
Yeah, because it's an American company anyway. But yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So America and Europe, that'll be there.
All right, guys. So you heard it here. Steve the Barman is starting another channel.
Yeah,
he's releasing a book. This is a busy man. So make sure you check him out on LinkedIn, on his YouTube channel, and the new YouTube channel, stevethebarman.com/hello to check out all his social medias. And Steve, once again, my friend, thank you so much for being on, man. I honestly cannot thank you enough, brother. Cheers. Cheers, my friend. I'm all licensed here.
I'm empty. It's been a pleasure. And Vino, just before you sign off, I wanted to say this at the start, but I completely forgot, mate. I've said it to you time and time again, but you mainly the cause of all this, but Rob, and we've got to give a shout out to Rob and Dave as well. But you're kind of the guy that started to make noises and bring the sort of community together, and that's what I've really enjoyed from YouTube as well.
Thank you.
I was kind of a lone ranger for 4 or 5 years, occasionally chatting to a few guys, but you kind of burst on the scene, and then Dave came on the scene, and then Rob, and you kind of all started dropping comments and chatting, and it just kind of exploded into this big Discord. So from me, from all the other YouTube bartenders, like, thank you, because
thank you guys. Big shout out to Rob and Dave and all you guys out there. This is an awesome community. It's a fantastic community. It is. And one thing, I think you could say the same is the pandemic was tough, right? And it made things very lonely for us. But I think having this community to come together and like be able to hang out and drink and talk, man, dude, they made it so much easier for everyone. It really did, and I'm glad I could be a part of that.
In that sense, it's been a great year. In that sense,
absolutely. We made some good friends. We made some great colleagues and friends. Yeah, it's awesome.
And I'm flipping off to Canada the first chance I get, and I'll probably stop in New York as well.
We'll meet on the
tour is getting bigger.
We'll meet at the Buffalo, the border there. What's that? What's the waterfalls there? The Niagara Falls. We can meet at the Niagara Falls. There we go.
Yes.
All right, guys. Again, so make sure you check out Steven on all his social medias and YouTube. And remember, folks, when life gives you lemons, you make yourself a cocktail. Cheers.